This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hi guys, good morning.
Hi, Saket. Good morning.
Okay, so we'll continue with Excel application. Okay, so we'll see one more use case, and then we will move to the next topic. Okay. So we'll see one more with Excel. So this time what I wanted to do is, let's say, okay, I want to append new records to Excel. Okay, new records to Excel from data table. Okay, so we have a basic idea what actually the data table is, right? So what we have to do is, okay, we have to read the data from data table and append it into a new Excel sheet. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. So basically for this use case, we can extend the sequence what we have done for this one, reading the Excel data and writing the same. So we can extend this, or we can create a new one also. Okay, so let's open our project. So in projects, we can go for the sequence which we have created yesterday. Write Excel. Okay, so this opening the sequence which we have done yesterday. Okay, so what we will do is we will extend this sequence in order to get this requirement, appending a new records to Excel from data table. Okay, so this is the sequence which we have developed yesterday. Okay, so there are in activities panel, there are activities which are related to data table also. Okay, so let's say data table. See here under data table. So these many activities are there which are related to data table. Add data column, row table, clear data table, filter data table for each row, generate data table, get row item, join data tables. Okay, so we can join two different tables also. I mean data tables also. Okay, look up to view. Okay, merge data tables, output data table, remove data column, remove data row, remove duplicate rows. Okay, sort data table. Okay, so whatever the operations which are possible on data table, for every detail, for every For every single operation, we have activity to do that. So there is a direct solution in UiPath. Okay. So for many of them, so there are direct activities which we can just use drag and drop and configure. That's it. Okay. Now what we take is build a data table. Okay. So this one, build a data table. So first, in order to get the data from data table, first there should be a data table developed. Okay, and in the data table there should be some data, right? So that data I have to read it into the Excel. Okay, so see, build a data table, creates a data table according to a specified schema. Okay, so I'm going to use this build data table activity. Okay, so take this. Okay, I'm taking this build data table, and where I will place is here below read range, below read range. Why? Because so I'm using this Excel sheet, and there is already some data in this one. Okay, I'm already having some data this one, and I will append to this Excel sheet. Okay, I will append some data which I will be going to develop in this data table. Okay, so build a data table. Okay, so with this we will build a new data table. Okay, so see here, output data table. So now we have to create a data table. So just click on this one, open. Okay, so see here. Okay, a new window has opened saying build data table. So once I double click on this data table, within this build data table, a new window will open. So here we can give the schema of the data table which we are going to create. You can just remove, we can make it just empty. Okay, and let's go to the Excel sheet which we are going to use. Okay, so this is the Excel sheet which we are going to use, right? So student details. We have to give the headers. Okay, we have to give the headers. Column name. Okay, we can copy paste, but make sure that the header is given is correct. Okay, data type is int. That's it. So there are no mandatory fields which we have to give. Okay, auto increment. So if you want to increment the roll number, okay, if you check, it will auto increment. Allow null. Okay, so it should not be null. Okay, so make sure that roll number should always be there. Okay, if we are taking this column as a primary key column for any operation in the future, okay, so if we make it as allow null, that won't work. Okay, so click OK. Add one more. string. Okay. Marks. The last one is exam rate. Okay. Now give values. So here we can give the values. Let's say I'm giving 5. So this is not supporting. Okay, so I have just entered 2 records. Okay, so a data table is created. A data table is created. Okay, so give the name. Give the name. We have created a data table, right? So right click. Let's say DT2. DT2 data table. Make the scope as sequence. Right. Now I'm taking one more data table related activity, that is called append range. Sorry, not data table related activities. That is to append the data. Okay, append range. So that is Excel related activity. Okay, so Excel related append range. So where do I have to append? So you know, right, what append is? Appends the data from the data table to spreadsheet. So basically adds the data from the last column. Okay, so see here what it will do. If there is no Excel sheet, it will create a new Excel sheet. Okay, so but we have already given the data, right? So what will happen along with this one appending? It will create this Excel and it will append that. Okay, that is what happens. Okay, now take this append range activity. Below this write range, we are writing the data into new Excel sheet, right? So we are appending the data into the new Excel sheet called stu.xls. Okay, so below this write range, append this one. Take this activity called append range. So here what we have to do is we just have to simply give the reference of DT2, because the data which we have developed, a data table is DT2. That's it. Okay. Okay. So what we have done, we have taken the difference of one Excel sheet. Okay. Reading the data from that and created a variable here, and I have developed a new data table. Okay. New data table, and I have entered some records into this table and saved this data table. And after that, what I want to do, I want to create a new Excel sheet. I want to create a new Excel sheet and copy the data which is already there in the above Excel sheet. Okay, and along with that, I want to append some new data. I want to append some new data into that particular Excel sheet. Fine. So any doubt here in this? Okay. Save it. Okay, and done. Okay, created a new Excel sheet, and so copied the data and even appended the data. We can't see that, it will be closed, that Excel sheet will be closed. We have to go to the folder. Okay, this is the file which is created. Open this one and see. So whatever the data which we have entered in the record, that will reflect here. See, I have created 5th record and 6th record with these details. Raju, Ravi, with this marks, and date, this is what I have given. So it's the same thing is reflecting here. Okay, fine, everything. Any doubt in this? Okay. Fine. So we will go to the next topic now. That is CSV. Okay. We will now see how to automate CSV files. Okay. So we have seen 3 use cases using Excel sheet. Okay. Now we'll go and use CSV. Okay. So whenever you are doing, remember, whenever you are doing automations using CSV, it will give better performance when compared to Excel application. Okay. So the number of records which we operate on a CSV and the performance it gives and the time it takes to read or write or process the data which is there in the CSV will definitely have better performance when the same data, same amount of data which is which we try to operate on Excel. Okay, so CSV is one kind of performance improves the performance basically. Okay, so we'll see CSV. Okay, so first we'll observe what are the activities which are related to CSV. Okay, so see that in app integration, you have CSV related activities first. Okay, so CSV anyhow, I think it will be installed by default. Okay, but then go to app integration before you work with CSV. Go to app integration and see if you have the CSV activities or not. So in CSV there are three activities: read, write, and append. Okay. Okay, so appends the specified data table to a CSV, creating the file. If it does not already, so read and write we already know. Reading the data from CSV, writing the data into CSV. Now, what I want to do is, I just want to output the CSV data. That's it. So reading and writing we already know, but just to see how to handle CSV data, how to handle CSV files, we'll just use one use case. Okay, so that we will get familiar with CSV also. Output the CSV data. So first what we have to do, we have to create a CSV file. That is comma separated file. So I already have a CSV file. Okay, so let's see the data which is there in this. Okay, so this is the data which I have: first name, last name, phone, email. Okay, so I have these records, 4 records. Okay, so if you don't have, or if you have already a CSV file, you can use that. If you don't have, you can just prepare a CSV file similar to this data. Okay, so this time what we will do is we'll take a flowchart. Okay, so we'll take a flowchart. So go to new, take a flowchart. Let's say output CSV. Okay, so flowchart will always start with the start activity. So what we have to do first, we have to take read CSV activity. Okay, so read CSV. Take this read CSV activity. So I have just double clicked on that. Okay, so I have double clicked on that. File path text must be quoted. So here give the path of the CSV file. Okay, so this one, give the path of the CSV file. Ensure that it is under quotation. Fine. Now check if you have to give any other properties. Okay, if you check if you have to give any properties in the read CSV. We have given the file path. Okay, delimiter is comma by default, of course. So here output, this is mandatory. Where do you want to save the data which is there in this particular file? So here create a variable. Create variable. Let's say data table. That's it. Data table. Okay, go to variables. Scope is okay. Data table. Okay, fine, everything is fine. Now go to the Hello. Now take one more activity. Take for each. Take for each activity. Okay. So what is for each? See here. For each row activity. Okay. Under data table, for each row. Okay. What it will do? Executes an action once for each row in data table provided. What is my requirement? I want to output the CSV data. I'm just out, I want to display the data which is there in the CSV. So it will, to go to each row of the CSV, I'm taking this for each row. Okay, to display each row that executes an action once for each row in the data table provided. So for to execute on once for each row, I'm taking this for each row. Okay, so for us, what it will do according to our requirement, it will read each data which is there in the each row. Okay, so I have taken for each row activity. So double click on this. So for each row, so it is similar to for each. Okay, it is similar to for each loop. Okay, so here just simply give the data table reference where it has to read the data. It has to read every row, right? From which data table it has to read. So that is the reason I'm giving the reference of data table created. Now take right line. Okay, take right line to see the output. Okay, to see the output. This one, right line in body of each. So here one thing we have to understand is, okay, so the data which is there in the data table is tabular format. Okay, so the data which is there in the data table is similar to this. It will be like a table saved as a table in data table. But when I want to output the data, which is there in the CSV data, okay, we cannot see the output as a tabular format. Okay, how do we have to see when you want to show the output as from a message box or from an output panel? It cannot display as a table. Okay, so you have to convert that into string. We have to convert the data table, the data which is in the tabular format, we have to convert that into string. So for that, what we have to do is in right line in this text, enter a VB expression. So here we have to write an expression to convert the data table data to string. Okay. Okay. So say row give the column name. Okay, so give the column name, first name. Okay, first name and last name. So make sure that you are giving the exact column name. Dot to string, converting into text. Take one more right line. for the next one, row dot for last. Okay, then after that convert into toaststring. One second, guys. Okay, similarly take two more right lines for the next columns. Row dot row dot email. Okay, so I have converted all the records to string format. Okay, that's it. Link this, just link this. So what we have done in this one, we have given the path, of the file. Okay, created a data table to save the data which is there in this CSV data, and after that I have taken for each row, okay, where it will loop between all the records of the data which is there in the data table. Okay, so for that purpose, to read each row by row from this data table, okay, what I have taken, right line to display, finally to display the data as strings in output panel. Okay, so because output panel cannot display the table format, I have converted that to two strings. So that is the reason I have taken 4 right lines to display all the 4 rows and converted each column to string. Fine. Any doubts in this? Okay, so connected. Okay, save this one. Run. Okay, so the flowchart got executed. Got some error. Source read CSV. The process cannot access the file because it is being used by another process. Okay, maybe we have used it for another process. So what we will do is, okay, I have just changed the name. Okay, change the name of file in this path. Save. Now run it. Okay, so executed. Go to output panel. So now we are able to see the data in the output panel. 1 second. Okay, so see here, the data which is there in this Excel sheet, sorry, CSV. Okay, the data which is there in the CSV is displayed in output panel as strings. So see here, AE123 abc@gmail.com. That is, this is first name, last name, phone, email. Okay, so the same thing which we can see here, first name, last name, phone, email. Okay, similarly for all the 4 records we can see that. Okay, because we have converted to string. Okay, this is how it is showing all the records. Okay, and it started here, execution started, and it took to read the data, all the records which is there in that 11 seconds. Okay, so this is how we can create a data table for CSV data. What we have done here is we have created a data table and we have copied the data which is there in the CSV and saved in the data table and looping through the data table which is there, with the help of for each row. Okay, with the help of for each row, and taken right line to display the data in the output panel and converted into strings. Okay, that is what we have done here. Okay, in the similar way you can we can append the data using append CSV. Okay, so that is called append CSV, right? append to CSV. Okay, so we can extend this to append the data into this CSV file. We have seen how to append the data into Excel, right? So similarly we can append to CSV and extend this flowchart, use this append to CSV, and we can write some new data. Okay, so but make sure that whenever you are writing new data, okay, enter that data into data table. So first the data which we have to append into CSV or Excel, first we have to develop the data in the data table. Then from data table only Excel or CSV can be able to read the data and save the data in the new file. Okay, So this is about CSV. Okay, so tomorrow we will see. Okay, so Excel and CSV are done. Okay, so there are no more activities also. So CSV just writing, reading, and no, only 3 activities are there, right? So we already know that. So tomorrow what we will take is we'll start the actual automation on applications. So we already started applications, CSV application and Excel application. Tomorrow we will start UI automation. Okay, UI automation. Okay, so UI automation, that is user interface automation. So this user interface, where do we see this user interface? That could be in web applications, window applications, mainframe applications. Okay, so wherever there is user interface developed for the purpose of displaying some data to the end client or a customer. Okay, so all those applications can be automated through UiPath in the UI automation related activities. Okay, so we will see one by one application, web application, window application. Okay, so we can take let's say for example we can take any application like Amazon or Facebook. Okay, any application we can start take the live application. It is not that you know, we have to take any particular application. Okay, we can take any live application and start automating the UI of that applications. And one more thing which we have to observe here is, okay, so these web applications, for example, in the case of web applications, there is no restriction that it has to develop on .NET or Java or PHP, whatever. Okay, so irrespective of how the application is developed, if it is a web application, we can automate the UI of that particular application. So that could be web application, could be .NET application, that could be Java application, that could be PHP application. Okay, anything. Okay. So there are few methods in UiPath. Okay, so recording, screen scraping, and data scraping. There are other activities which are related to UI automation. Okay, we'll see all those in order to start automating them. Okay, if we go for UI automation activities, UI. So see here, UI automation. Under UI automation, there are many activities like element, mouse, keyboard activities, control activities. Okay, so there are many activities. Okay, so there are mouse related activities, screen scraping related activities, and text related. Okay, so text related. So if there is any text in the application, how to automate that? Fine. If there is any image, or if you want to find any image, or if you want to create any event, all those are there. Okay, and when you are working with web applications, we need to open it through a browser. So how to do that? So browser related activities, we will see one by one. So we will use those activities according to our requirements. Okay, so fine guys, so we'll start that tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow again.